Hey everyone, welcome back. This is going to be the first real episode of the tournament finals. I am joined once again by the famous Maryland.
Hello, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon.
Yes. And so we're going to go through now all of the expansion. You can see nobody expanded last turn, which would have been a blind expansion, but now everybody's expanded here. So we get to see who did it well and who didn't. And this is as good a time as any to talk about kind of the structure, how we're going to go through these turns. We're going to read a message from a player, and then we're going to go to that nation, and we'll cover them first, and then we'll go to the next message, and then that nation. And then once we're done, we're going to go and do all the nations from the map. We're not going to go and watch all the battles here in abstract without looking at the map. And what that means is, there's not going to be as much surprise, but it should be okay. One thing, too, I wanted to bring up at the beginning is, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, these are going to be some of like the best players, they're never going to fail expansion. I just want to temper that. And the thing I want to temper it with is to expand well, you need to expand with not much. And if you push it a little harder, your scouting report's a little off, or anything like that, it's very easy to kind of fail in expansion.
I tend to be a little more conservative than many, and so I make a little bigger expansion armies. Just because I'm a bit risk averse during expansion. The first 5 turns I tend to be risk averse. Then I'm willing to reduce my parties and take more risk. But some people aren't like that. They go for the really minimal expansion groups, and they carefully analyze whatever the independents are, and that's good if you're good with scout probes. That makes a big difference.
But it does. And it's a little bit of a catch-22 because if let's say you double expand turn 1, or you expand turn 1 and then again turn 2, you're going to have a lot more resources coming into your cap, so it can kind of supercharge your expansion if you can do it.
It sure does, yeah.
But if you fail, oh boy.
Well, I've got a game now where I blind expanded into Bone Tribe and wiped out my Pretender, and that put me so far behind. So,
Yeah. So it's a balancing act, and there's no right answer, but it's a risk assessment, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I think people who play more games, like more at a time, are more willing to play higher risk. I only play 2 to 3 games at a time at most.
Yeah.
So then I actually want my games to last. So
right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. A message from Uruk. I think this is Nick Knight. Take luck 3, get 21 unrest event, turn 0. Typical. At least the Indy's being pretty piss easy next to me makes up for it.
We covered that he looked like he had pretty straightforward Indies, didn't we?
Yeah, let's find. He's down here.
I think. Yeah. No. Yeah. He's the one that had Lion Tribe and just militias and archers, and because we were talking about how if he can push hard towards the. No, that's not. That's not Pelagia's lake there.
Oh, it's his lake's over here. But yeah, most people had pretty straightforward Indies. But let me pull this up real quick. What did he have at the end? At least the Indies are pretty easy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's Nick Knight. You were correct. I just confirmed that just to be sure.
So his expansion party, he's got his Enkidu archers.
Well, that's just his starting army, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like this.
Which are pretty solid. I mean, longbows are not bad.
Is his lizard chariot or dragon chariot, is that a commander? Oh, no. So he must have bought that, right?
Yeah. I think this is what he purchased.
Okay.
And this will be interesting. The thing with this always is you want these guys to make contact at the same time.
Preferably. Yeah, he's going to lose.
And this guy has a lot of a decent amount of protection, but not a lot of HP.
Well, only a single one is, that's a little high risk.
Yeah, let's just look at some of these rolls here.
Ooh, 33.
Missed, hit, but 0. Missed. A lot of misses here.
What's his 14's good against Lion Tribe.
Yeah, it does have this unsurroundable thing, which is
Oh,
helping.
right. That does help. Right, yeah, I didn't know about
Yeah.
that.
So with the defense, it's only getting a harass penalty of 2, even though it's surrounded.
It's size
And
6? Oh,
yeah.
okay. So then a single isn't such a big deal. Although timing them, like you said, if he could have set it back a little bit, watched his combat. Oh, he lost his drive.
Oh, now it turns into this guy. I actually haven't really used these before.
And does that guy stick around or is it gone?
I think it sticks around. What I'm not sure of is if it regenerates the rider. It probably
Mm,
says down here.
mm.
It's cared for by a retinue of trainers and caretakers. If the
Oh, a
charioteer
new
is
one
killed, a new one will
oh,
replace
okay.
him.
Okay,
Oh
well
man.
that's different then because like, I know some of the others that if they lose their rider, they finish the fight, but then they're gone. So they are.
Oh, but they lose trample in this form.
Oh,
But they're stupid with the fear aura. Interesting.
okay. That's kind of a complicated mechanic.
Yeah.
And he's berserking. Are those just sacreds? The axe
I
guys?
I think this is how you use them then. I think they're just like an alpha strike where
Maybe.
they YOLO in there, and then when they die, they're a fear ward.
Yeah.
They'll
Okay.
occasionally kill stuff.
How many hit points? 66 is the
A lot.
base. Oh,
Yeah.
the rider only had a few.
Right.
But if you get your rider back, then yeah, you can afford these guys to be a bit suicidal.
Yeah. It's back. Like nothing happened. They're
Wow.
expensive. 200 gold. Wow.
Oof. And probably one per turn. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, a
But
single.
I can understand that. Just having a fear ward planted in the enemy army
Yeah,
while your other guys are running around.
yeah,
That seems good.
and he did well.
All right. Next up, we have a message from End. So the real okay, so the starting position is rather bad. I won't be able to expand south due to the rivers. And this is this weird connection we were talking that
Yes.
Knight has up here, where it's a peninsula going here,
Hmm.
and then the only way to get via land down here is through this throne.
Yep.
And it's a weird geography, but it's a favorable geography for Uruk, even though it's weird for both of them.
Ind is the yellow with blue
Right.
ribbons.
This is End up here.
Yeah. We did talk about he's got some real movement restrictions.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of mountains too. East is also a bit difficult due to the mountain range and throne placement. Means I'll most likely have to push west and north. However, this can also mean my southern flank is fairly secure, depending on who spawns to my south. So all is not lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 4 tiles north is a cave province. I do believe on these kind of maps, players spawn like 3 tiles from each other. So I believe that Agartha is the only nation in this game with a cave preference. So it's likely Agartha to my north. And I'll have to think about the matchup and Scout is blessed to determine if I have the advantage.
Hmm.
And he's bidding 212 for the Mercs. The Bandar band was up for sale, and they are a very
Yeah.
good Merc band.
Yeah.
Um,
Could you scroll the map up just a little bit? Well, his guess was right. We
right.
know that. So his calling it 3 apart, I would call it 4 because I would count the first one, but
Oh, right.
it's the same difference.
Yeah.
Just how you count.
There's some nice things about this end starting spot. Like my end game, I literally had no highlands and no caves anywhere near me. I would have to go like if you drew the square from all the thrones to each other, there was not a single one within that square for me.
But if he's resource dependent, he sure got kind of shafted on cap circle resources because that's
Yeah.
all just
Yeah.
plains.
Let's see if he went. He went productivity. If you don't fort
Yeah.
your cap circle, you have plenty of resources with productivity to get extremely large amounts of sacreds, like 20 a turn.
Just depending on what. Yeah.
But importantly, these caves and highlands are what End needs to get their good blood mages, the bitch mothers.
Oh, right.
And if you start like I did without any of those, it is horrible. It is really bad. Because Ends is a very good blood nation.
Yeah, on his attack, can you right click
Yeah.
and look at the
We'll watch the
report?
battle first.
Well, I wanted to see the report first.
Oh, okay. Well,
But anyways,
we'll see
yeah.
what we do.
I just wanted to see what he was fighting. So just archers and heavy infantries.
Yeah.
Okay, easy.
Flawless victory.
So he picked an easy one.
An interesting thing about these is they have magic weapons, which actually makes the short bows a little better. It makes them less likely to hit shields.
Okay.
Obscure fact.
Well, those guys are fast.
Yeah.
Oh, you've turned it way fast.
Yeah, I've turned it.
No, combat speed's only 9. Yeah, never mind.
So attack +2, magic weapons, defense +2, and strength +2.
Right.
It doesn't look like much, but this is just above better human stats across the board, and it
they're
adds
really
up.
good stats.
Yeah.
They're really good stats. And 15 hit points.
And the shield, so they're not going to get shredded by archer fire.
Mm-hmm. And at what cost are those guys?
They're cheap. They're like, I want to say like 15 gold or something.
Yeah. Okay. Perfectly adequate.
Let's take a look. 19 for the fancy ones, and for the normal ones, they're 15.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's quite solid. Okay. Cool.
All right, we'll continue going northwards with Agartha. See what Agartha's expanding with. He got Shard Guard.
Yeah. Well, he's set up his movement well. It looks like he's going to hit everybody. Yeah, look at that. Well done.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Good timing. He counted his squares.
Right. So he put the slowest moving guys in the front. Also, the guys he wanted to make contact first in the front.
Seeing this, I would now move them, I think, 2 squares farther forward. So they hit just a little earlier, but don't fall so far behind.
And then he had these guys who are slow, pretty slow, but not quite as slow as these guys.
Well, Shard Guard are really slow.
Yeah.
They're like 6, aren't they?
Yeah, 5.
5. They're even worse.
Yeah, these guys are 8, so they're damn near sprinters compared to the Shard Guard.
An interesting side note. Do you remember a player named Vanheim?
I don't.
Back from Dominions 3 and 4. Well, Vanheim worked really hard with the Agartha, and she was the first person that I ever saw demonstrate with a graphic showing how to work with combat speed effectively. And her thing was back with the old CBM mod, the rock throwers got a small area of effect, so you could time them so their rocks would hit just before your front line hit. And that was the first time I saw anybody really explain and talk in great detail on how to work with combat speeds and the squares of your setup and doing your setup so that things land in the order you want them to land. You've done some stuff on that, but she was the first person that I remember explaining that in a clear, usable way.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It used to be pretty common to do this like counting business when you were going up against elephant, or when you were using elephants.
Yes.
And that way you got the enemy would stop right in front of your elephants, and then you got a whole round of trampling them before they get to move again.
But trampling's changed in some.
Yeah, it's not relevant anymore,
ways,
which is nice because nobody likes sitting there having to count all that.
Well, I don't mind. When I go to my setup, I just use my right and left arrow keys.
Yeah.
To get my squares right. It doesn't take long. Unless you're doing that, breaking things up into, 20 squads of 5.
Yeah. So Agartha is about ready to expand again. They've got an Earth Reader and some more Shard Guard. The problem I found with Agartha is you have to protect the Earth Reader.
Yeah.
Which is a little dicey.
He just did a scout probe there on the heavy cavalry? Yeah.
This you often want to do against heavy cav because the difference between 5 and 10 heavy cav is a huge difference.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he could take that with his Shard Guards.
Yeah.
They'd just take those. Although if he's got some cheap chaff, even better if he could just soak the lance hit.
Put some wounded guys up front. All right. And the Ba, it looks like they got the mercenaries. So they've got all these longbowmen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When they're going straight into the barbs first.
Well, sure.
If you got normally the first expansion target.
Yeah, but
if you got all these archers.
And those are his javelin guys?
Yeah.
So they'll.
Some of these are javelins. These guys don't have javelins.
He's already berserked the leader, and then he got a smite on him. No, that's it. Oh, is there 2 leaders? It must be.
Yeah. So he's lost 1 swordsman. These barbs should be running now.
Yeah, there they go. Yeah. He
So
did
that was
fine.
pretty clean. This is like 60 barbs too.
Yeah, that was really clean.
You have to have huge. Oh, it was only 40. But you have to have pretty big balls to go after barbs for your first province.
But 30 longbowmen,
Yeah.
that's enough.
No, it was well. I mean, it was well planned and executed.
It was. Yeah, good job.
All right,
His
then we're back to
scout,
Perth.
does he recruit those guys that gnar?
Which
Those
one?
those shade scouts oh, those are us.
Oh, those are me. Yeah.
Those are omniscients.
Yeah, that's how we get to see everything.
Right, never mind. I was thinking, where did they come from? I've never used that omniscient mod
Yeah.
until you're showing it to me now.
Okay, so this is Ashdod, and he's got a bunch of these guys, the Gideonites,
Gileadites.
Gileadites, and then these Avites over here.
Right.
They just insta-routed those guys. Some javelins.
Well, his smite's helping.
Yeah.
It was the jabs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But those jabs hit really hard. What are they, 20, 22 damage?
Yeah. It's a lot of it's like a ballista, basically.
Yeah.
16.
Oh, only 16. That's not quite as heavy as some.
Oh, and there was one Seshai Anakite. I didn't even see him.
Oh, okay. Where is he?
But he's down here at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But he's been recruiting more Seshai Anakites.
Right.
Which would be interesting. You probably actually could depend. What was his bless again? Let's take a look.
It wasn't outrageous.
Yeah, it was shock resistance, poison resistance, MR, dark vision.
Pretty cheap bless.
Yeah. He probably needs to wait another turn before he sends the Seshai Anakites out. If you have a crazy bless on them, you can do it with just 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, well, especially if you've got something to minimize attrition like regen.
Right.
Or that crazy one, the Hinnom with the larger. That's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
hit points.
Oh, this is a really good province right here.
Yeah.
Starts with a lava lake already discovered in a great gold mine. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
All right. Coming up, we have Zabalba. And this is one of the things, expanding with Zabalba, I have found tricky the few times I tried it.
It is. I had a teammate and we didn't practice it. He practiced a bunch and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
We figured out a couple of tricks. If you expand with Zots, split your squads, have one squad attack immediate, second squad attack rear, and that first squad takes the hits, and then the second flips over and gets the commander, and you take attrition, but then Zots are cheap.
Yeah.
But it actually works. Whereas if you have both squads either attack immediate or both delay, then you spread the crap too much and both run away because their morale's so bad.
Yeah.
But he's using much, so they're a great deal tougher.
Yeah. And it worked pretty well. I mean, I guess they have some dark vision on these guys, so 50%.
Well, he bought some dart throwers. They're weird.
Yeah.
How much do they hit for?
Actually, pretty decent amount.
Okay. And the range is that's because their strength is decent.
Right. And in some ways, the lower precision or the lower range can be nice.
Well,
because they're going to hit more often.
Yeah. And how much ammo do they have? How many darts? 2 or
4?
4's not bad.
Yeah.
Because I know that I've tried using the Zot dart throwers and they're just garbage.
Yeah, they're pretty horrible. Let's watch this again, see what the dart throwers do.
Where does he put his darts? Can we tell?
God, it's hard to even see.
The same. Are they the ones with the clubs?
No.
They must be in the front.
Oh,
there they are. So he put them in the front.
Are these all darts? I don't know what this one looks like. It's in. Oh no, here they are. They have the hands up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can see they're dual wielding. You can see 2 sticks in their hand.
Oh, okay. Well, one's the dart, one's the small spear.
And look, he's made a ton more dart throwers. Nuke militia and dart throwers. How about that? Interesting.
4 shots of 12 damage. That's comparable to javelin expansion. And can you check their protection? It was moderate, wasn't it? 8 or so? Because
let's check.
The dart throwers.
8, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Because that means a typical spear is going to hit you for 2 or 4.
I think one of the issues, their morale isn't great, and the militia's morale is really bad.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like the bats in a way. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But they
Um,
actually have some protection, which means they're gonna shake off at least some of the damage.
right. So this is interesting. I've heard other people talk about how to expand. I've never heard of dart thrower expansion. So
Me
this will
either.
be interesting to watch.
But I can see the thinking behind it now that I'm
Yeah,
looking at it. It's a little like using sticks and stones with light bandars.
right.
You know,
But
it
that doesn't work very well for expansion, I found.
for expansion, you can't usually get enough because you
Yeah,
don't have enough production.
right.
I mean, why would you ever get production with monkeys? Well, sorry, I've done production with Patala, but that was in a Disciples game.
Right. Here, I'm going to step away for 1 second while this battle
Sure,
runs, so you can
go ahead.
narrate it.
Well, it looks pretty good to me. Pretty straightforward. Got a basic set of jabs. Those are tower shields. I can't zoom in for you guys, so it's a little on the tricky side, but overall, yeah, small bit of attrition. Is Retarii, why has he got them so far back? Maybe when we can zoom in, we can get a better feel for that. I think the Trident Net guys, they're going to get into the fight so darn late that it's not going to have a great deal of effect on things. Yeah, here they go. Go, go, gadget legs. He's running them all away. So good. Whoa, Luce is trying to break the kitchen. I think he made a salad. I'm going to have to cook some food. Totally off topic, but I think cooking some food would be
All
kind of
right.
a good idea. Well, you might want to go over this again because I couldn't do any zoom or anything. And I'm trying to figure out why his Rotarius, he left them so far behind so they don't actually do anything.
Well, they disappear if they make contact with the enemy.
Okay. Well, then why bring them? Oh, I guess so they'll be there the next fight?
Yeah, if you end up if you need them for the next fight, like you run into Cav, they're
Oh,
also kind of an insurance policy. If you
okay.
put them at the back like that, like if things go really south on the front line, they can help clean up.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense then. I was just, it just didn't seem terribly. Oh, and here he's just using them on their own.
Right. So this was he. I think I mentioned last episode he does a double expand,
I see that. Yeah, I see that.
and these guys are just
They
brutal
just
up front.
shred everything,
Yeah,
but then they're gone.
but then they're gone.
Okay. Well, it's tridents and nets, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I
Nets are
think they
hard
hit
to
for like
use.
20 something damage, 22 damage,
Yeah.
and then they bind them up with a net. And they have
And
solid defense too.
and pretty good protection, really.
Yeah.
And they're cheap, but
So the downside of doing this is like, he basically lost 150 gold,
yes.
but he got paid 60 gold of it back.
Okay. Yeah, it turned out to be a fairly valuable province.
Right. And
He
he
would,
got, the resources from this available too. So,
yes, yes. And he's bought more Vitarii.
right.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of wondering because I think I'd like to see more. It's hard to know exactly how much he got, but I really like that he did this double expand. But
Hmm.
I feel like you have to build up to have like to get your legion stronger. Like, so we'll see. I don't know how many he has, but
Well, tower shield guys are just generally viable.
yeah,
They don't kill very fast, but attrition's really low.
right,
I would think Retarii might even be able to take those shades, and
right.
that might be worth it. Oh, he's getting the
That would
squeak.
be a good thing to send in too, because if they die, you don't really care.
You don't mind. Yeah, you've lost nothing.
And he pinged this, thankfully, because he got to see this was a whopping 15 heavy cav. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, that'll take some
Yeah.
particular methods.
And Rotarius are good at dealing with heavy cav.
Mhm.
They're like the thing if you're running into cav, that's when he would like put these Rotarius on the front and you just have them eat the lance charge and hope they kill a lot of them.
Right, right. Well, and get the net gives you one turn with their defense at 0, so
Right.
that makes a big difference.
Yeah. So very solid first turn from Pythium.
Yes.
So what's interesting though is Vanheim has expanded in his direction too. And this is a large province. That's the disputed province directly between their capitals. So there's a very good chance they both go for it.
Yeah. Unless they have figured out who each other are and talk.
Right.
I mean, that's always an option, right?
Yeah, yeah. They could negotiate. Though this would be a little early for the negotiating to start, but
These are Gamherdlings, or what are they called?
these are Huskarls, is I think what they're called.
Huskars. They're just the plain Huskars.
Right. But they're solid. They have
Yeah.
better than human stats, and
Yeah.
javelin expansion.
Well, and I think that's his starting army,
Right.
if I remember right. Did he go anywhere else? No.
I don't think so. We can see he's been
Oh, he's
recruiting
building bands.
sacred stuff,
Okay.
but there were no sacreds in this group.
Yeah. No, that's just his starting army.
Yeah, this is his starting army. So
And how much did he lose?
he could probably take his vans and join them up with this army here. He could also take his vans and probably clear one of these two, well, this province. You don't want to send your vans into Wolf Tribe outnumbered, because the Wolf Tribe with their daggers are actually pretty good at harassing down the defensive vans, and the arrows and stuff from them.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones you really have to watch out if you're doing van expansion.
Right.
What would you do here if you were Vanheim? You got a bunch of dudes, a bunch of vans. I don't think we can see his bless. I think it was a little bit of defense and some rainbow, basically a normal elf bless.
Well, we kind of know. I'm going to try to turn off thinking about who's around him. Well, he really wants that farm.
This one?
The one above.
Oh yeah.
You want that farm.
Well,
But
this farm actually is a farm mountain, so it actually kind of sucks.
oh, you're
They
right.
both are. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Then I take that back. So I guess maybe that's not so important. He doesn't have much use for forests in particular. The swamp is kind of a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd just be trying to clear my cap circle, I think.
Okay.
Or like I'm just looking for choke points. No, I take that back. That farm to the north is a
This one?
solid choke, like a solid point to try to grab onto.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough to say. It's tough to say. I'd probably just be going for some easy pickings right off the bat. Get
Yeah.
myself some breathing room. If he has any way to get some scouts out, then get some scouts out so he can see who his neighbors are.
Yeah.
But he went with a very moderate bless, if I remember
Right. Well, the standard kind of elf thug bless. So not something you're looking to just rush at somebody with.
See, I don't think I'd have bought Vans.
Yeah.
Given what he's got around him, he's got fairly large amounts of low-grade troops.
Yeah.
I think I'd have just bought cheaper troops
Yeah.
and got a hell of a lot more of them. Because what are Vans? They're 50 gold, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah. So that's 5 housecarls.
The things Vans don't do great against is mass archer fire, which is kind of what he's looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They do kind of okay versus heavy cav, but they don't like to be super outnumbered because that charge hurts them. But once they get through the charge, they're actually pretty solid against heavy cav.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He could have got, how much productive? Oh, he took sloth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of eliminates using huscarls.
Yeah, that's true. That basically pegs him to using Vans.
It does, because they're 12 resources, so he doesn't really have that choice.
Probably puts a priority on clearing the cap circle even faster. Like you have the option to do spaghetti expansion, where you try to get away from your cap as fast as you can, or you can do like a ring.
But with
If you
sloth,
pick sloth, you really want to clear out your cap circle.
I'd be doing the ring, yeah. And then he's got to figure out a plan for the heavy cavalry.
Yeah. All right.
Now, the other option he could do is he could use some careful use of bait squads to help his Vans manage the archers.
That's true. That's a really good point.
Well, that can make a huge difference. Like 5 huscarls way up front on the far flank.
Do they have good bait stuff? I get some guy with the shield and a decent amount of protection. This guy's a lot of resources, though.
Yeah, no, that's just the huscarls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're 11.
Yeah, they'd be pretty okay as bait.
Yeah, and a normal size shield, not a buckler.
Right.
They'd be decent bait.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good point.
5 or maybe 6 just to minimize the small squad penalty.
Right.
I think that would work.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good idea. Okay, we're gonna move over to the monkeys.
And
Monkey time. Get
tigers.
those marcata out. Sharpen those little twigs you're gonna shoot from
Yeah.
your bows.
Well, that's his starting army. Oh, and he bought 1 longbow. So I wonder if he just bought the longbow to a single longbow tucked in with the marcata might be there strictly to improve the morale.
Could be. He's got the tigers and the elephant. The
One
elephant is not on attack closest. Probably a mistake.
Well, the tigers are chewing everything up, but
Yeah. Okay, and they're running. So that was successful.
it was. It's an odd method.
Yeah.
Like buying both tigers and elephants seems counterintuitive to me. I usually do one or the other. What's his
Right.
bless again?
Well, he's got pretty light bless.
Yeah,
So
but tigers still kill well.
yeah, the tigers are a good unit.
They're very killy. 3 attacks
And these Atavi are running in right behind him. That's why I went to watch it again. I wanted to see how they arrived in combat at the same time. The Atavi did not attack. Let me watch this one more time.
he
See how
didn't
he
have
opens
them on
it.
fire.
Yeah, so they're on hold and attack. They're on hold and attack, but not closest.
Yeah.
You can see these guys too. Maybe they're on hold and attack rear because it looks like they're just beelining to the
Maybe.
back. Somehow they picked
And
up
they're
these guys.
yeah. Well, it's an interesting script, and it worked well.
Yeah, no losses.
It's quite different than I would normally have used, but
Yeah,
it worked.
it worked.
One thing I tend to do with monkeys, the starting army, I usually split both quads in half, both the Mercata and the Atavis, and then send half with 2 different armies as bait squads.
Yeah.
And I just use them as bait squads. I don't bother whether or not they kill a damn thing. I split them into 10 and 10, and then I split them again into 5 and 5, leave 5 back, put 5 forward as bait. And that's my
Yeah, I think that's
typical way
a
to
good
use
way
them
to handle it.
because they don't kill diddly.
No, they
But
don't.
that way, and I put the others, you can't do it with the Mercata archers. They can't go guard commander, but the Atavis, I leave 5 of them on guard commander. So I get, in effect, I get 4 expansion moves of 5 guys as bait squads.
Yeah, and the Atavis can kill stuff, and they're nice for bulking up your force. The Marcata, in some ways, are a liability if you have too many of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can
Although,
they get hit a few times by like arrows, and then they all rout, and then you're close to HP routing your army.
but a funny thing is, Mercata archers seem to not be a popular target for the AI. The
Huh.
Mercata sticks and stones are. So I've noticed the archers sometimes last a lot longer than you'd think because nothing shoots at them.
I haven't noticed that. That's interesting.
I have seen that recently. Ever since
I-
some of the changes to archery and some of the targeting AI changes.
Huh. Okay, we get to see it. This is it, boys. Charge body memes. Here we go. These guys are ready to go.
Okay.
Ready to go.
And they
I
have
don't
to
think.
they have to get
Oh,
hit.
there it went.
Did
It
it?
only happened once. I think everybody still has the charged body on them. But this guy right here, he expent his.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got.
But did he kill any of his own spearmen?
Oh, it doesn't. I don't think it does friendly fire. It does friendly fire on the unit, the sacred unit, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no like area of effect or anything.
Okay.
All right, that was pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a super easy province, and he still lost 7 warriors, but that's what they're here for.
Yeah, they're just chaff. But we were expecting him to use eagles, but he's
Yeah,
got jaguars
yeah,
because we thought that the idea with that would be, attack rear eagle spam.
yeah. I thought you'd be doing like have like some slingers or something in the front to just be a distraction, and right before the lines make contact, you have your eagles hitting the back line.
Yeah. Well, Micklin does have the slingers with shields, which makes them reasonably durable.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes for chaff. So, anyways, he's fine. What's he
Yeah.
building?
My expectation though is with this kind of bless, I think it's probably not going to be super fast expanding. Like I think you probably have to have kind of big expansion parties.
Well,
And I don't know what his dominion score is, but
he's got pretty good scales, so they're not that good. Yeah.
so we'll see. But anyway, so far it's pretty clean. And we have Jotunheim doing what is probably going to be rather brainless expansion.
Yeah. His basic spearmen.
It looks like he got the Veti, I think. I don't think those are part of the starting army, but it's nice because they percolate in there and fill up these empty tiles.
Mm-hmm. Very killy.
I've played. I'm playing Vanheim right now, and again, it's kind of on pause because we're looking for a sub. But these Vetis go so well with these size 4 units, and it's because the size 4 units are going to take 2/3 of the hits.
Right.
But the Vetis but they only have 1 attack, right? And then the Vetis will basically attack twice
And
for every time the Jotun attacks.
Right.
It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears that he won the bet for the Bandar Band.
Oh, he did. Are any of the mercenaries up for sale?
Let's take a look. The wet ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Very situational.
Yeah. They're really nice at getting underwater if you're going into like really easy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that shark tribe. No, that's Triton guards that are tough enough to. Yeah. Wet ones. They're not like the Shamblers.
No.
The Shambler mercs. What are they
You
called?
really need to outnumber them, is what and they need to be bad.
Yeah.
Whatever you're fighting.
What the heck are the Shambler mercs called?
Shipwreckers.
Shipwreckers. Yeah.
Those are top end. Those are tippy top end. All right. Vanarus. The Ruskies. Pretty easy here. He's expanding with what looks like, are these Oathbound? A few Oathbound.
And what's shooting from the back? He's just got archers from his starting army.
Yeah, I think that must be it.
Just basic short bows. Okay.
He's got some skin shifters.
But he kept them on guard commander.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty small front line, so I can see that. See, that looks like that was a smart move because the heavy infantry got around him.
Oh, these guys actually protected the archers. Like he knew it was going to happen.
Well, I've had that problem before that if, the independent heavy infantry can get past your small front line and mess you up and snipe a commander.
That was a good little fight.
Yeah, he did. He did quite well.
Did they lose any Oathbound? Lost no Oathbound, even though they were front line.
They might have some that are wounded.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see how many got wounded. Because I know they had Blood Surge and they had a bit of attack. Let's see what they look like once they're all
and look to me
going crazy in combat.
Berserk. Let's surge.
Oh, he got a disease. He's not long for this world.
No.
But this guy, yeah, man, with Blood Surge, they're pretty gnarly.
Wow.
2 attack, 1 defense, and Blood Surge. This is not a heavy bless, but they get.
It's a rainbow blast.
Yeah. These are very good stats, though.
Dormant rainbow, I'm guessing. I can't remember from last session if he went. There was somebody went imprisoned.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bandar. He went imprisoned with the Devada thing, the Great Sita.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's true.
For super high astro late game shenanigans.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
As long as he survives.
We've done that column. Over to Tis.
Uh-oh.
And spoiler.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I can see. Well, that's just his starting. Oh, he put 3 Sobeks in.
Yeah. Now we're gonna we saw him recruit him. Shame, shame, shame for no elite warriors. Okay, that's all I want to say. I think he actually didn't take
I don't know what he's
productivity either.
I don't know what he's planning these Sobeks to do. Oh, that's heavy cavalry.
Yeah,
So I guess he thought the Sobeks, and then they run away.
yeah. I don't think this would work. So
No.
there's like layers of problems here.
Yeah, it's
First
not.
problem is you kind of want to scout your heavy cav because this was kind of a lot.
Well,
8.
he's got a problem there with he's got the small squad penalty. 3 Sobeks take a morale check every round from the small squad penalty.
I think he must have put him in there with somebody else. Let's take a look.
Look like it.
Oh, they were part of this squad, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, they're in the same square. Okay.
But these guys, like you look at these stats, you don't think, oh yeah, these guys can tank a lance charge. Like heavy cav is meant to kill this.
Yeah. No. No. They ran away very quick. Well, there's 3 down, 4 down, 5 down, and then the Sobeks run.
So I think the thing here is you want to hit. Where would you go though? Wolf Tribe would fuck these or mess these guys up too. This is where he should have expanded to, right here with no heavy cav.
I think so. Yeah.
And he's making more Sobeks.
A lot more Sobeks.
Now he's got this Netter of Chaos, an Awake Titan, which is something you almost never see.
Yeah, and we were thinking, how's he going to use that? I guess we'll see when he. Well, it looks like he's waiting for some gems and some trinkets.
Right.
We don't get to see.
That's interesting. That's like the wild card.
Depending
but
on how
still, no elite warriors, and he has turmoil scales too, which is the other thing.
Well, and he's the one that Neater of Chaos was the one with a fairly decent retinue of scorpions.
Right.
Not enough to do anything.
Right.
They don't have many hit points, so they shouldn't route it.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be. I'll be very curious to see how he chooses to use that. Yeah, he gets 4d6 giant scorpions. They're only 5 hit points apiece, so they won't route the Neater.
Right.
But on its own, without gear, that Neater won't kill anything. It's only got a magic staff.
Yeah.
So he's got to figure out some early magic. Really early elementals, maybe. I don't know. It's going to depend a lot on his research.
Yeah, and I think I keep talking about elite warriors, but I think when you take turmoil, I don't think you can really crank out elite warriors the way you need to.
I think if I remember from the last episode, he talked about Russian construction too.
Okay.
So if we look at his national gem income, I think it's nature and death.
Yeah. Nature 2, death 2.
Water. So he could have a Frostbrand and a Thistle Mace by turn 6. And that might make the Neater a viable expander, but he's got to do something before turn 6. I think that's the earliest he can make a viable. If he's doing a research rush with the Neater and construction 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so not to see. This is a hard way. I mean, there's like losing the starting army of Satis is not like the biggest deal because the starting army of Satis is horrible.
Well, and he didn't lose the Sobeks because they ran away.
Right.
And they probably had no problems on retreat because they still stayed in their squad, so they probably went back with their commander.
Right.
So now he's got 6 Sobeks.
Right.
And that might be enough to kill the cavalry.
Yeah. So
was he?
Maybe his bringing his god actually would have been good versus the heavy cav because those scorpions would have eaten all the lance charges.
The scorpions would have made a big difference in that fight.
Yeah.
They would have helped a lot. Plus, they get a little chance of poison, so then you can get a decent chance of some morale hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see how he claws his way back in. Still, losing your first expansion is a big deal, and it's a big bad deal.
Can you press on that province the battle? Yeah, there we go. So 2 heavy cav died. So that helps a bit, but would have
Yeah,
been nice if he could have had some runaway.
yeah.
Oh, but he lost his commander.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he probably lost at least one of the Sobeks on retreat.
And was that his profit?
Yes.
Ouch. Okay, so
Yeah.
double hit. He took a hard hit.
He took a hard hit.
Yeah.
I've played with this player a few times, and I'll say they always have big brain like strategies when they play with them, but they're like micro isn't top notch. Like it's good, but it's not like it's not on the level with some of these other players here.
This is the coconut you were telling me that
Yeah.
can come up with really funky ideas that seem terrible but actually might work.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So he
maybe
like
he's
on
got.
strategy level, this guy's usually pretty good, pretty
Well, I
darn
hope
good.
he's got a white rabbit in his hat.
Yeah, he's got to pull one out.
He's going to need it.
All right, somebody expanding towards our little outpost.
Hey, not allowed. We'll butt you. It'll be the demon butt.
Yes. Expansion with Ulm is just excellent.
Yeah.
They really are so good at. They're starting Ulm army. You get so much mileage out
So
of it.
he doesn't. Yeah, he's got the flail and big axe guys. He doesn't have the. I'm used to Eleon more, where you've got the shield and flail guys rather
Yeah,
than the 200 flail. 200 flails though, like just eat things.
yeah, they do. They're really good.
And how much his infantry's of Alma? They're like 18 protection, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a lot. Even the like low resource ones are still at some extreme amount, like
Right.
18.
So they're fairly much immune to anything lighter than heavy cavalry.
Yeah, like this province is basically free. This is super easy.
Yeah. Well,
This
that's
one also pretty easy. No heavy cav. Heavy cav Ulm doesn't love. They deal with it pretty well, but you'll
yeah.
take losses. This is free, basically, I think.
He's got lots of production, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got fort bonus for production.
I
Resources
think if you're
bonus.
Ulm, you go after this one.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a galaxy brain type of thing is you go after this, but you bring another commander, and then you take the starting army and you would go like after hope you find some easy province like this to hit. And
Well,
then
that's
you take the part you brought plus whatever you recruited here next turn, and then you hit this.
well, unless I'm doing a very deliberate research rush, I frequently buy one or two. Often the first turn, I'll buy two commanders
Yeah.
just so I've got some more flexibility. Of course, you want to start using indies for your shuttle operations. But your national commanders, because they're only 1 point, you're only using up one turn, and you're getting a lot better leadership, better morale,
Right.
and it's
And yeah,
always nice.
you have 3 commander points for Ulm.
Right.
So
Oh yeah, and there's all kinds of funky things you can do with double commanders. Um, traps and baits and
Mhm.
various tricks. So Rail was always a real master of the double commander expansion.
Oh yeah, nice.
Well, there used to be a trick where you could bait barbarians. So
Oh yeah, I remember that. You have them retreat and they chase your guys while you shoot them with arrows.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
because the barbarians would split their commanders rather than keep, for whatever reason, the AI had it so the barbarian commanders would tear off separate from their barbarians. They don't do that anymore, so that doesn't work.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one, but I think
That
I've
was
heard about it before.
it was an old trick.
Yeah.
White centaurs?
All right. White centaurs.
It's an
I'm predicting an absolute walloping. So there is wide consensus among the players who play this game a lot that large white centaur are one of the most ruthless like initial expansion or like just sacreds period.
yeah, sure. How many hit points are they when they're large?
Um,
29.
29. So it's a lot of hit points. But on
Yeah.
top of that, they get a repel now. They get a repel with their lance.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then once they go, now in this case, he doesn't have a lot of attack. I think if you go this, you probably want, I would probably take at least a bit of attack.
He took
But
defense.
once they get lit up with blood surge, which they're almost always going to get off that lance charge, they're going to start getting some attack.
Ah, so he had his satyrs. take the first hit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done that.
And there's the surge up.
Yeah, so with the surge,
Yeah.
you could do with a bit better, I think, in terms of attack, because if you're really going for the repel, but still. And it's also, they've got the berserk. He's not surged, so it gets worse. Can we find somebody who's...
He's surged.
He's surged and berserk.
Good grief, 17.
Yeah.
Oh,
26 damage, magic weapons.
Yeah, they'll carve through everything.
Yeah.
All you're really worried about is attrition and afflictions.
Yeah. And they have recuperation, so the afflictions you don't even really...
Yeah. Forgot about that.
I think middle-aged Pangea is really strong.
Well, my experience, Pan seems to taper, but depends on your late game plan.
Yeah. Okay, and it looks like they've got another group of guys ready to go. We can see they've got a bunch of satyrs and white centaur, which means it's very possible we've got another expansion coming out.
I think he's going to do 2 parties right off the bat.
Yeah, because he's got this down here, which is super easy. Jaguar tribe is so easy.
And it looks like he's going to leave the barbarians.
Yeah.
If he wanted them, he'd be getting harpies or something.
Yeah.
Because
now that said, you can't... Repel is decent versus the barbs, and like 10 white centaur would kill this almost with no losses.
Mm-hmm.
But not 5. You wouldn't send 5 white centaur, 10 or 6 into this. You would need probably 10 or 12.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And then we have the underwater world of Pelagia.
And he's got some of the super knights.
Right.
I'm looking
at... He has foot cavalry and horse cavalry.
How fast are those guys? What's their combat speed on the super knights?
These guys are 16. That's why I said foot cavalry. They're so fast. These guys are 20.
Almost everything underwater is stupid fast.
And this is
30. Yeah. So you just take everybody else's stuff and multiply it by 50%.
Yeah.
And there they go. Where's the commander? Is that him? The indie commander? No. And that was that.
And that was that. It looks like some of these guys are out of though.
Just his cheapy ones.
Yeah. Oops.
Those are the ones without shields. I don't like them. The malicious? No.
He lost the militia. Good riddance.
Any of the Tritons with the spear and shield are adequate.
Yeah.
But the Trident's shield is brutal.
Yeah.
But most people can't recruit those easily.
Right. Yeah, these are pretty solid. And he has... Okay, he's got Shark Tribe, which is kind of tough, but it's not a lot of Shark Tribe. It's a little.
But those double daggers can chew you up.
Yeah. He's got the Triton Troopers here, which are pretty tough with Triton Knights. These are 2 kind of harder, but not super hard just because they're low troop quantity.
Well, and the Triton Knights will poison you and give you some attrition.
Yeah.
But easy peasy are both of the Shambler provinces.
Oh, and he was one of the players that did not send us a message about what his bless was.
So we don't know what it is.
So it's magic weapons. I was thinking it was going to be larger to get the repel, because he does like... This particular player likes larger on Sacred Cav, but
these
I think he would have done that. But there's no other underwater player, so he can't use these guys above land, so it's a bit wasted.
Which we sure have requested some kind of item for air breathing for troops for years.
Yeah, that would probably be nice.
It would be very nice.
Okay.
Those are beasts.
Yeah, they're pretty...
I forgot that they've got recuperation, so it's kind of like underwater Pan. So keeping that in mind, then he's not really worried about poison, because poison's not likely to kill them. It's just likely to... It can cause a lot of afflictions.
I don't think he had poison resistance in his bless either, did he?
No. Magic weapons and very cheap bless.
Yeah. Magic weapons, strength +4. So this is to make his sacreds relevant on land for like killing hard to kill stuff.
How's he going to get?
And then this is probably, I'm guessing, for like charm spam or something. The combat forecaster, or maybe one of the mist spells.
Yeah, that would be nice for ice. But how's he going to get any sacreds on land? He doesn't have any sacreds that are... Oh no, he's got those couple.
He's got these guys.
That's right.
And they will definitely notice +4 strength.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, so this guy can do like what, rust mist or something, and then these
Pearl
guys could
mages can
do freezing mist. I
a
think
good
it's for the mists is what he's got the range for.
that makes sense. It's never a bad blast.
Yeah.
Never at all. And
All
it
right.
is nice on charm because the range issue with charm does increase your risk attempting to use it. We did Uruk.
I forget how much nature access they have. I know these guys can get some,
Oh, it's not that good.
but
What
yeah, it's not like Oceania where you're going to have
no,
like
that's right.
real charm
He's not
spam.
really gonna be doing charm.
Yeah. I was thinking they would because I don't know. I looked at this guy, I thought nature, but
Well, he'll get a naiad, but
right.
whether or not he wants to move it into combat.
Right. And those aren't sacred anyway, so they wouldn't benefit from it. I think he got this for the mists, looking at it.
Well, but he could easily shroud a charm caster if he wanted. He's got some options to summon high nature mages and but what's his national income again as Pelagia? I'm assuming it's air, water, and astral. Nope, just water
Hardcore.
and nature.
This is
Okay.
basically begging for you to rush Maelstrom.
Boy, that's a lot of water. Yeah.
Go for Maelstrom.
As long as
Quickly.
you don't have to burn all your water gems fighting with elementals and shark
Yeah.
attack and stuff.
Well, Malin, we did it. We made it through the first turn.
That's everybody?
Took us an hour, so I think we probably call the episode there.
Yeah, that's good. No, an hour is a nice length. I like an hour.
Yeah. All right. And thank you all for watching, and thank you, Marilyn, for joining me.
No problem. We'll
All right.
see you on the next episode fairly soon.
Yep. See you soon.
Bye bye.